Our tastes in film may seem destructive, but this is a productive dialogue. Damn it, your mother ate my dog.
Whatever I want.
Episode 64. We're getting very close to 69, which is the sex number.
Yeah, we had to pick a sexy movie for that.
69 is gonna be my movie. I think we've already talked about this.
Mm-hmm.
64 was your movie though. Something that I found out very recently after watching the movie was that the Ladykillers is actually a remake.
Yeah, it is. And I had the original had Alec Guinness in it. Isn't that fun?
He's in Star Wars. Okay, without having seen the first Ladykillers and not knowing anything about it, which movie do you think is better?
It's got to be the original.
Maybe.
Maybe that's giving away a little what I think about this movie, but
yeah, it was a tough one.
In some parts, yes. Some regards.
Before we get into that movie, I had a time and a half today trying to figure out what movie we're going to watch next week.
Yeah.
And I'll let you know all about that later on. So this is the foreshadowing of the week. Oh, wait. No, not foreshadowing. Whatever word it is where you say something to tease and then say it at the end.
The teaser of the week.
Ugh.
That's not the word you wanted. I know the word you're thinking of as well, but I can't, articulate it right now.
We're just two hardworking guys, just tired and stuff, which is great for a podcast. I shouldn't say this kind of stuff out loud. Is there anything happening that you wanna? Any movies you've seen recently? Any TV shows? Anything you're doing that you'd like to let the people know about?
I have not watched any movies, and I have not watched any shows. I've been doing a lot of paddling lately, and I've been doing a lot of sitting at home, doom scrolling through YouTube Shorts. It's been a really fun time.
Okay, so what does your algorithm look like right now for YouTube Shorts? What is the first thing that you see, and what is the last thing that you're like, okay, I need to go to bed?
Okay, the first thing that I see almost every time is okay, for $20, can you name the 3 NBA players, not including LeBron James, who have scored 40 points or more 50 times since the year 2000?
Kevin Durant.
Yeah, it's
James Harden.
Okay.
Damian Stoudemire.
Damian Stoudemire, just combined two people. There's Damian Lillard.
Damon Stoudemire? What's
Amani Stoudemire, isn't it? Something like that. I don't even think he plays anymore, brother.
There's another Stoudemire.
I don't think so. And then the next video will be a guy walks up to a homeless person. He's like, "Hey man, what can I do for you today? Can I make your day any better?" He's like, "Oh, I could use some food." It's like, "All right, let's go get some food." And then he buys him a sleeping bag and a tent, and he just makes his day better. And then I get to the videos where I know I should stop, where it's that, but very obviously staged and fake. And I'm like, okay, enough of these. And then I turn it off. But usually, I get about 2 hours in, and that's when that happens.
2 hours in?
Maybe not quite that long. It does feel like that long. But sometimes you just get caught and just doom scrolling, as I said. So that's been my reality.
I do that on Instagram. Damon Stoudemire is a real person.
Okay.
Nicknamed Mighty Mouse. He was drafted 7th overall in 1995 by the Toronto Raptors.
Okay. Well, you're right then.
Thanks. I am right. Often. I was thinking, um, sometimes I doom scroll on Facebook, but Facebook right now is just a lot of nothing.
Yeah, it
Like
is.
nobody's doing anything on Facebook, but there
No.
is things that I see about pets, such
Hmm.
as the Humane Society. They're looking for people to adopt or foster their animals. I know you had a dog
Yes.
at one point. Would you and your life partner, considering you do have 3 cats who probably won't die anytime soon, do you guys want a dog at some point?
Yes.
You would take a puppy?
Maybe not a puppy. We've decided if we were ever going to adopt pets again, then we'd want to adopt like senior pets, give them a nice home for the end of their life, sort of deal,
Wow.
or at least try it. I don't know. Like we'll see how much emotional damage that inflicts on us. But
That's true. That is tough. Well, if they're like really old, but if you're having them for like the last 5 years, it's
right.
tough. All the vet pills.
Yeah. But right now, the space we have, we probably wouldn't get another pet. So if we ever get a bigger space, that's what we would do for sure. We'd probably get another pet, like a fourth one, if we moved into a bigger place,
You get a 4th cat?
or like a dog. We would want a small dog, but yeah,
So it's like a race between us to see who gets a 4th cat first.
right. Well, we got to 3 cats much quicker than you. I'd like to point that out.
At what date did you have your 3rd cat?
Oh, it's been like at least 3 years now, but I
You don't know
couldn't
the
tell you.
exact date?
I mean, I could find out if you sort of.
January 17th, 2022 is when I got my 3rd cat.
Okay, well, I can find out. So if you just sort of fill in space, and I'll tell you.
Sure. While you're looking, I do have some questions for you that you can answer while you're looking.
Okay.
I just Googled some rapid fire questions to kind of get some ideas on what we can talk about. What if the feedback that I've received, if there's like one thread of feedback that a lot of people are asking me about our podcast is, what's Jesse like? What's up with him? We want to know more about Jesse. So I have some questions that maybe you can answer to give people more info about yourself.
Okay.
But we'll start like easy and then kind of move to the hard hitting ones.
Okay.
So the first one is, how often do you floss?
I floss every second day. I should floss every day, but sometimes I would say on average, like sometimes I have a streak where I'm like, I floss every single day and it's great. And then sometimes it's just like, I don't know, it's a little too much effort. And so I'll skip a day. But I would say on average, every second day.
That's good. I have a dentist appointment in a month, so I'm like, oh, I should start flossing every day. To all the dentists listening, I am flossing every day leading up to my dentist appointment.
Mm-hmm.
Is your bed? Have you been making your bed? Well, like you're pretty neat, so you probably have been making your bed.
Yes.
Living alone.
I make my bed every morning.
Do you have any nicknames?
I don't really have any nicknames. People call me, like, I would say the older somebody is, the more likely they are to just call me Jess instead of Jesse. Or a lot of people like my last name, Balcom. So a lot of people call me Mr. Balcom. But I don't have any nicknames, no.
What was the date you got your 3rd cat?
November 23rd, 2019.
Wow. Coming up on 4 years.
Yes.
If you had to pick your favorite age, what would it be?
My favorite age, like, to be? Or just, like, in general?
What, like, I don't know, I guess what kind of what was the best things that have happened to you in your life? What age were you?
Oh gosh. That's a little hard to say, I guess. Maybe 31, the year I am right now.
Happy 1 month of your 31st, by the way.
Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much.
Okay, and I have 2 more questions for you.
Okay.
The first one is, who is your favorite Disney character?
Okay. My favorite Disney character is probably Philatides from Hercules.
Okay, I lied. I have 2 more questions.
Okay, no problem.
The second last question is, what is your favorite board game?
My favorite board game is definitely Risk, but no one ever wants to play that. So if I were to pick another one that I actually ever get to play, I would say Scrabble.
That's fun. The last question I have for you is, what is your hidden talent?
Hidden talent. Okay, my favorite hidden talent is, you know how sometimes people, they'll be sitting there like with a little snack, like a bite-sized snack, and they'll like throw it in the air and catch it in their mouth. Well, my secret talent is I can take a little candy or a little tiny snack and throw it as high as I possibly can in the air. Like, typically I do it outside. So I don't know how high I can throw something in the air, maybe 20 feet or whatever, and then catch it in my mouth. I'm very good at that.
Thank you for letting us get to know you.
You're very welcome. I'm glad I could help those people who have been asking get to know me just a little tiny bit better.
I did watch one movie besides The Ladykillers in our week apart. It was a Pierce Brosnan movie where Pierce Brosnan again is Irish. A new Netflix movie that just came out called The Outlaws.
Okay.
He played an outlaw, like there's like in-laws. It was like a play on that. He was the main character's in-law, but he was an outlaw, if you will. It was an okay movie.
Nice.
Yeah. Cool.
Great.
Okay. The Ladykillers, 2004, Coen Brothers movie. Kind of on a Coen Brothers kick a little bit.
Yes.
Tom Hanks, other people.
Right.
Last week you mentioned that maybe this is one of like their not as good movies.
Right.
People have said that maybe this is lower on the list of Coen Brothers movies. Would you agree with that after watching it?
Yes, I would say that is accurate. This is very unlike any of their movies, that's for sure.
It's almost like they were trying too hard.
Yes. Yes, it was quite an interesting attempt at a film. Let's put it that way. And I think you said it, you probably didn't mean it this way, but you're like, Tom Hanks and others. Well, that was kind of like what this movie felt like. It's like there was Tom Hanks. And then there was like some other people, but who really cares?
I mean, there were some recognizable faces.
Well, there was recognizable faces, but were there recognizable performances?
The acting was probably the downfall of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Because, the plot was pretty... I mean, it had an interesting premise.
Yeah.
Yes, it was like a bank heist movie, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
With like a southern charm. But it was kind of clever when they were, they had to convince this old lady that they were this band of misfits or whatever, so that they could rob the bank through the tunnels in the basement. I mean, that was kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
But then it just fell apart everywhere else.
It did. It did. I would say that, the acting perhaps not the best, but I did really like Tom Hanks' performance. it might be up there, one of my favorites of his that I've seen. Like, just because, like I have mentioned before, a thing I really like is an actor who typically do serious roles, although not all of Tom Hanks's roles are serious, but typically that is what he does. When you see a serious actor dip their toe into this type of role, I tend to really enjoy it, and this was definitely one of those instances.
I wouldn't consider Tom Hanks a serious actor.
Well, I don't know. Like I mean, Forrest Gump is I would say a serious. It's not a serious movie, but he's obviously doing like a serious character. And there's like Captain Phillips and Philadelphia, and I don't know. But then there are others. You're right. Like he's done Big. He's done Turner and Hooch.
Like Sleepless in Seattle, You Got Mail. Maybe it's like a 50-50 because like Green Mile, Castaway.
Right, Green Mile, Castaway.
Toy Story.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he does right down the middle.
He doesn't really do like, I guess what I would say is he doesn't really do like characters. Like in most of the movies that he's in, save for maybe Forrest Gump, and I can't really think of any others right now, he's just playing himself. It's like, hey, this is Tom Hanks. But this one, he's like definitely diving into a character and just like trying to become somebody else.
Wait, he plays Tom Hanks in movies?
Well, no, but like, it's like he's not really like, I don't know how to describe it.
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, in most of his movies, he's just like a regular guy, and it's like hard to distinguish between him just being Tom Hanks and him like acting as this character. Is just kind of like the same person. But another movie actually I like of his, and maybe is sort of is an indication of what type of performance I like from him, is The Terminal. He's like plays, I forget the character's name, Victor Navorsky or something like that, and that's definitely a character he's playing that is different than just being Tom Hanks. So yeah, I like The Terminal. I like this movie for his performance in this movie. So yeah, I don't know. I liked his performance.
Castaway was good because it was just Tom Hanks as a FedEx employee who ended up on a desert island.
Right. That is the plot, essentially.
So we touched on this a little bit behind the scenes. Character-wise, perhaps they were a little stereotyped.
Yes.
Marlon Wayans' character.
Yeah, I would say
mostly.
Yeah, I would say a lot of the African American characters in this movie there were some stereotype things going on for sure. It did not sit with me too good.
The coworker of Marlon Wayans' character, I don't remember his name. He was the brother in Smart Guy. You ever watch Smart Guy?
No, I haven't.
Okay, well, never mind. He's a smart guy. It was on the Family Channel.
No.
Tiny little smart kid. Okay. I gotta get his name. The General. He was the actor was in Rush Hour and Rush Hour 3. Why was he not in Rush Hour 2?
That's a great question.
I should rewatch those movies. But yeah, I mean, J.K. Simmons, he is probably one of my maybe top 10, top 15 actors.
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of let down by him.
Yeah, he didn't get much, did he?
He got IBS. And
he got IBS.
They kind of leaned into that a little bit too much.
Yeah, and it was... Yeah, I don't know. Like, there was a lot of over-the-top characters, but he wasn't really over-the-top. Well, maybe he was a little, but yeah, he just didn't quite get enough you could tell, even this is probably a fairly early performance for him. I don't remember too much other things that he's been in, to be honest. That he's clearly a good actor. I don't know. He just kind of has that aura about him. Whereas like Marlon Wayans, perhaps not so much.
J.K. Simmons has been acting since 1994.
Really? Okay.
But this was the same year. Well, so like Spider-Man had come out.
Right.
2002.
Right.
And then, so this is the same year as Spider-Man 2 came out. So people would know him kind of as like the...
Mm-hmm.
But not really. So I understand. I get it.
Yeah.
I got you.
But I do appreciate that this movie, like, you know, Tom Hanks was the main character, and he was in like a lot of the movie, obviously. But it was a good choice. I liked that character a lot. He was hard to pin down at times too. Like, is he a bad guy, like really at heart, or is he kind of a good guy, or is he just kind of? I mean, he's obviously very smart, and I mean, I feel like a lot of times too, like you see a bad guy, and it's like he thinks he's smart, but really he's kind of a dumbass. But I didn't really get that. I thought he was just kind of like mostly smart, and things were just going wrong. And not just him having flaws and being kind of stupid, but thinking he's smart.
Right.
If that makes any sense.
It sure does. Another character I didn't like was Lump.
Yeah, that wasn't a very good character either. He was just like too dumb.
He was too dumb, but then he kept saying like smart things, so that was that trope.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, and then, I mean, the ending, spoilers, where he like turns the gun on himself because
No
it
bullets.
didn't work when he shot. Yeah, like, oh my god.
Yeah. A fun fact about the movie that I watched today. I watched it on a rented DVD from Pick a Flick. Shoutouts, soon to be no longer. It had a scratch on the disc, and so like 35 minutes in, when Marlon Wayans' character gets fired, I missed that scene because it's like skipped right over it. And then right at the very end, when Marva, the woman who like owns the house, she like goes to the police department, like right when she leaves, it also cut out. So I didn't get to see the end after that. But I think then I went on YouTube and like Ladykillers ending scene. I think it was just like the cat putting the finger in the water, right? Is that all I missed?
Yeah, like she leaves,
Mm-hmm.
and then then the cat drops the finger onto the barge, and then
Okay.
it's over. Yeah, it's over. Yeah, I don't know. I was gonna say something, but then this might be the last time you rent a movie from Pick a Flick.
Yeah, I don't know how much longer they are going to be in business. Like they might be gone by the time I get back, and the movie you pick next might not be something I can rent. I don't know.
Oh, actually, I did pick a movie for next week that specifically was at Pick a Flick.
Oh, great!
Because it's not a movie from this century.
Okay.
It was a whole thing. I had a few different ideas for movies that we'll go over and we can laugh about.
Okay.
Later on. So acting. Do you like the story?
I liked the story. It was interesting. It did also feel like nothing. Like things were happening, but nothing happened. Also, the story, the story didn't really go anywhere, I guess. But maybe that wasn't really the point. And also, like the movie's called The Ladykillers, right? But like the part of the movie where they're trying to kill a lady is like the last 20 minutes. Like that doesn't even come into question. Like doesn't even become part of the plot until the very end.
Yeah, maybe the Ladykillers doesn't really have anything to do with literal Lady killing?
Like, I wonder if in the first movie, like the original, I mean, that was more of like a thing, like, oh, these are known killers and they've gotten together and now they're doing a heist. Or is it the same? They just, out of necessity, they need to kill the lady and it doesn't work out. I don't know. It just seems weird that it's called the Ladykillers, but it's also really what the movie's about.
Yeah, because like we just came off of a movie last week called Crash, which I mean there was a car crash. So and the movie before that was Face Off, and that's literally what happened. They took the faces off.
Yeah.
Now, The Man Who Wasn't There, which was the last Coen Brothers movie we watched, wasn't really about the man who was there, but it kind of was.
Yeah. I guess a title doesn't necessarily need to fit the plot.
But I'm a cheerleader, but she was a cheerleader. So The Man Who Wasn't There was 2001, and this was 2004. So this is a tough 3 years for the Coen Brothers. I mean,
yeah, I can't say that these are.
It's a remake.
Yeah, I can't say that I enjoyed those. Yeah, either of those movies a ton.
But they made Intolerable Cruelty in between, which is a romantic comedy starring George Clooney and Catherine Zeta-Jones. So, was that any good?
I don't know. They got some weird list of movies they've done.
But then No Country for Old Men and Burn After Reading were the two after that. And then True Grit. So, like True Grit also a remake.
Yeah, I did like True Grit. I guess what's interesting, I suppose, is they don't have like a particular style. Like if I were to see a Coen Brother movie that I didn't know was a Coen Brother movie, I don't think I'd be able to immediately tell it was them. Whereas some people like Quentin Tarantino and Wes Anderson and Martin Scorsese, like you can instantly tell that that's them. So I guess maybe hats off to them for having some variety.
For sure. Marva, the actor who plays Marva, is still alive.
She is 88 years old.
Probably not still acting.
Probably not. You do really like to know if people are dead or alive. I appreciate that about you.
It's my whole life. Name anybody and I'll let you know if they're dead or alive.
Okay. Benjamin Franklin.
Which one?
Which Benjamin Franklin?
Well, yeah, there's a lot of Benjamin. Like, he's not the only Benjamin Franklin.
Okay, so you saying that means you know which one I'm talking about.
The original Benjamin Franklin is still alive.
He is. Okay. Correct.
Okay, so what other things can we talk about for this movie? The acting, the story. I mean, it wasn't that pretty to look at necessarily because,
yeah.
I mean, In the Bank or the casino was cool, I guess.
It was. I also like the Coen Brothers thing that I've noticed is they got pretty good soundtracks. I didn't mind the music in this one.
I liked Tom Hanks's facial hair.
I did as well. Tom Hanks for me really is helping this movie a lot.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been great if he wasn't in it.
I mean, it wasn't great at all, but I mean, he did help.
What year do you think this was supposed to be set in? I don't think it's set.
No, it did actually kind of say it was set like in the year that it came out or a few years early because they were talking about Martin Luther King, and then they said something like 30 years later, and so around the year 2000, I think is what they were saying. But that was interesting too. I'm glad you brought that up because like at the beginning of the movie, it's like, oh, this is set in the 50s. It must be. And then it like slowly made it obvious that it was not because there was like, oh, he's listening to like hip hop music. And then it showed like a stereo, like a modern stereo. And then it slowly integrated more modern things, and it was actually a kind of a cool contrast of the like older decade feel and then like the new combined.
Right, because I mean, she looked like she was out of the 50s.
Yeah, just what she was wearing, and so did Tom Hanks's character.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Wow.
Meow.
The Ladykillers. Yeah, all three of them were in the room at the beginning of the podcast, and then they got bored with what I was saying.
Yeah, fair enough. Someone just jump up on the desk or something.
No, he did something that I'd never seen before, which was try to jump up, but then like change his mind halfway up, and then just stay on the ground.
Right.
Okay, so are you comfortable with giving scores then?
I'm comfortable for the scoring portion of this podcast. Your Mother Ate My Dog, rated 5 stars on Spotify.
Yeah, I guess we didn't mention that the podcast is Your Mother and My Dog, but the theme song would have said that.
Yeah, it's a dead giveaway. Dead giveaway. Dead giveaway.
Okay, so what do you score out of 10 for acting?
So if I were to just to pick Tom Hanks's performance, I'd probably give it like an 8 or something. I really enjoyed it. It was quirky, serious at times, but like sometimes so serious that it was funny, and sometimes so unserious that it was also funny. But then there was some problems I had with the other performances. Like J.K. Simmons, he's clearly a good actor. He just wasn't given enough. So maybe that's has to do with writing and not so much his acting prowess. And but then there was some stupid acting, like Lump was a stupid character and Gawain was a stupid character. And mostly everyone else was like pretty superfluous. Marva I liked. Irma P. Hall played Marva. She was good, but I mean not particularly stand out or anything like that. But another performance I'm glad had a lot of screen time compared to like the ones that weren't as good, if that makes sense. So I think overall for acting, I'd give it a 6.
Oh, so you're giving everybody else a 4, and Tom makes it an 8.
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah.
Yeah, Tom Hanks was good. I didn't maybe like him as much as you did.
Mm-hmm.
But he was fine. He was trying to save a movie that didn't really work, trying too hard. Overall, as an ensemble, it wasn't great. It wasn't terrible. It was a 5 out of 10 for me.
Okay.
I'll do ending. So the movie is called The Ladykillers, and no lady was killed. I took that into consideration. I liked the fact that they all died.
Mm-hmm.
They were criminals. Tom Hanks said it himself. Sometimes with these kind of movies, they just like go to jail. But I'm happy that they kind of curdled our expectations, and they just killed them in somewhat spectacular fashion. Tom Hanks, I guess he was hit in just a... Okay, so, I mean, look, his death was good because he was a big Edgar Allan Poe guy, and a raven knocked a statue's head, which somehow was cracked, and knocked him in the head, and then he hung himself. And I thought that was great. Best part of the movie. But yeah, exactly, best part of the movie. So for that, I gave the ending a 7.
Yeah. I agree. I also liked how they all died at the end, maybe unexpected. I really liked the death of oh shoot, the general. Is that his name?
Yeah.
Like it was just like so randomly, so like visceral, and he's just like. It also looked very believable. Like that's just a man who fell down the stairs, and I don't know. It felt like so abrupt, and that whole sequence when he like swallows a cigarette, drinks the denture water, and then just like goes absolutely careening down the stairs. I liked that. I'm considering that part of the ending. But yes, I do like that they all died. That was good. It was sort of weird, like at the end, also when she had all the money still in the basement, and they're just like, "Yeah, keep it." I was just like, "What? That doesn't make any sense." Um, and then also, I guess, yeah, I don't know. It was fine. 6.
Hey, what did I give it? Did I give it a score?
You gave it a 7.
Okay, so I thought. All right. How about you give your score to 10?
Okay. Yeah, the ending was pretty fun and unexpected. I really liked Tom Hanks quite a bit. The story was interesting. Didn't really seem to go anywhere, but I mean, that's fine. It doesn't necessarily have to. There was some distractingly bad acting. I found well, maybe not so much bad acting, but some of the characters were distractingly annoying and just like superfluous, and didn't really like them. Um, Overall, as a film, I'd give it, I think, a 5.5. There was a lot of good moments, but there was also some pretty crappy moments.
Yes, maybe it wasn't all bad.
No, certainly not all bad.
There was some cleverness, and the ending was unexpected, not bad. Overall, I I would give it a 5. 5 out of 10. It it was okay. It's one of those movies where like you'll catch it on, if you have cable, it'll be on like TBS, and then you'll go and you'll watch. Oh, I'll watch 20 minutes of this. It's kind of entertaining.
Right. It's like a movie I can see myself every once in a while being like, I want to see a particular scene from that movie. Like, oh, that scene was really good. I want to watch that again. But yeah, probably not watch the whole thing again.
Right. Okay, that was The Ladykillers, 2004 remake based off of a 1955 British comedy film starring Al Guinness, I guess. Coen Brothers. Over.
It's over.
Done. Okay, so next week. So originally, my idea was, because I know you're, stressed. You have a lot of time commitment. You'd rather be paddling. You don't necessarily want to be watching movies. So I was like, okay, let's do Asteroid City for next week. Then I'm like, well, you would have seen that movie more than a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how fresh it would have been in your brain. So I'm like, maybe that's not fair to do. So we're not going to do Asteroid City.
Okay.
Then I was going to give you the option. Like, if you didn't want to watch a movie, just we'll do Asteroid City. But if you did want to watch a movie, there was one on Netflix that was 100 minutes long. A recent, a few years ago, it was a Best Picture nominee starring Chris Pine. I'm not going to name it. It might be a movie for later.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't pick that though, because around this time I was like, oh, maybe we should do a in-person episode of Your Mother May Die, the podcast.
Right.
And so if we were going to do an in-person episode, it would have to be, we'd have to get a movie that was worth it, or at least a genre movie that is worth that kind of hour podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So then I was thinking, what would be a perfect movie for Josh and Jesse? Go back to our roots. We're always talking about going back to the roots. So I was thinking, it's summertime. What do people in summer do? They go to camp. We've already seen Sleepaway Camp. So I was thinking that we would do Sleepaway Camp 2, the sequel. The issue with that, though, is that it's not on anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's not at Pick-a-Flick. There's no way to watch it. I think I did look it up on YouTube, and I think you can watch like 7 minutes at a time of the movie.
Right.
So Sleepaway Camp 2 is out.
Okay.
So then I Googled obscure 1980s horror movies.
Mm-hmm.
So like a good old VHS horror movie. And I settled on a movie called Prince of Darkness. God Told Me To is a movie that we watched many years ago
It is.
that I have nothing but negative things to say about,
Right.
except that it put me to sleep, which was great. So I found a movie. It's a John Carpenter movie.
Ooh.
Perhaps a cult classic John Carpenter movie that maybe you haven't heard of before. It's about a group of graduate students and scientists uncover an ancient canister in an abandoned church. But when they open the container, they inadvertently unleash a strange liquid and an evil force on all humanity.
Sounds awesome.
It's an hour and 42 minutes long. It's at Pick-a-Flick,
Okay, great.
1987. The cover is quite interesting.
Yeah, I'm just looking at it now.
No actor I've ever heard of before, except I think I saw that Alice Cooper is in it.
Oh. There you go. I've heard of him.
So I think that's a good one.
Yeah, I like that. Good choice.
It was a nominee in the 1988 Saturn Awards for Best Music.
Oh. There you go. Now we're talking.
It was between Prince of Darkness and a movie called Vamp.
Vamp. I've heard of Vamp. Like the cover, I think, has like a pair of lips on it, right? I think I own Vamp.
It has lips.
Do I own Vamp on VHS? I don't know. Maybe I don't. Anyway, yes, I love your choice.
I don't think you've ever said that before.
Oh. Sorry.
No, that's okay. I don't need you to tell me that you love.
I'm not saying it just because I'm not here to placate you.
Yeah, so Prince of Darkness, perhaps our last episode for a few weeks.
Yeah.
And then we'll come back, episode 66, and you'll have a bunch of stories about whatever, Samoan food or all the gold medals.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we'll win a gold medal, but, you know, aim high, you know?
Yeah, why not? Just have fun, that's all that matters. Or don't even have fun, but I guess August is a terrible time to go to a island country like Samoa.
Oh, thank you.
Just because it's going to be so hot.
It'll probably be pretty hot, yeah.
Like, that's kind of a country you'd want to go to in, like, February. Because it's cold here, but it's hot there.
Yeah.
Because, well, I guess it would be, like, winter when you go. Their winter.
I don't think it's supposed to be particularly hot, so I think I'll be okay.
Well, that's good. Okay, well, now you have another decision to make.
Okay.
So this has been a pretty good episode of Your Mother Ate My Dog.
If we don't say so ourselves.
You're welcome we can end the episode right now, call it a day. Don't go brush our cat's teeth. Or we can do the box office game.
Let's do like a quick version of the box office game.
Okay. It's September 2nd, 2005.
Okay.
I was 14. All right. Quick. 20th Century Fox made $16 million in the first week. I'll let you know that it's an action thriller crime movie.
Okay.
Starring Jason Statham. Jason Statham from 2005. 20th Century Fox. The Mechanic? Is that too late? Too early for...
Give it a go.
What's like his one movie that probably wasn't The Mechanic?
I don't know. I don't know enough about Jason Statham. I haven't really seen too many of his movies.
It's not The Mechanic. But he's in like... He had like a sequel, like a bunch of movies. The Transporter, right?
I don't know.
The Transporter. It's not The Transporter. It's not The Mechanic. All right. Second actor is Amber Valletta. Don't know who that is. Third actor is Alessandro Gosman. Don't know who that is. The tagline is "The best in the business is back in the game." It's The Transporter 2. Sorry, it's The Transporter 2.
Nice.
So I was on the right track.
I love it.
Okay. Universal, $68 million after 3 weeks.
Okay.
It's a comedy romance.
Okay.
Starring Steve Carell.
Comedy romance from 2005. So is that
It ended up making $177 million.
probably 40-year-old version?
I think that 2005, yeah, because it was like right after The Office came out. It is the 40-year-old version. You're correct.
Nice.
Good job.
Thank you.
Focus Features.
Okay.
$10 million after one week. It's a drama mystery thriller.
Okay.
Starring Voldemort.
Ralph Fiennes. Is
Rachel Weisz is the second actor.
Okay. This is the Red Dragon. No, that can't be right.
Because isn't Edward Norton in that?
Yeah, he would have gotten the second billing for sure. Also Anthony Hopkins.
The tagline is "Love at any cost." I don't think we're getting this one.
I don't think so either.
Okay, here's the plot. Justin is a low-level British diplomat who has always gone about his work very quietly, not causing any problems. But after his radical wife Tessa is killed, he becomes determined to find out why, thrusting himself into the middle of a very dangerous conspiracy.
I haven't heard of this movie.
It's The Constant Gardener.
Yeah, never heard of
That's based off of a book. Apparently. The Constant Gardener. That's actually a movie that I thought about picking at some point for the podcast, but didn't. DreamWorks, $43 million after 3 weeks. A thriller mystery starring Rachel McAdams.
DreamWorks. Rachel McAdams, huh?
What if I told you Cillian Murphy is the second actor? Remember how you were talking about the Red Dragon before?
Yeah.
This movie's called Red Eye.
Oh, you know this one.
I have seen it, I believe. The tagline is "Fear Takes Flight."
Okay.
I was correct. It is Red Eye.
Nice.
They're on a plane.
Right.
He's the bad guy, and she needs to get out or something. I can't remember the plot, but the plot is a woman is kidnapped by a stranger on a routine flight. Okay.
There you go.
Miramax. This is the last one. Miramax, $26 million after 2 weeks.
Okay.
It's adventure, fantasy, action, comedy, thriller. We got them all.
Wow.
Matt Damon.
Okay, so the Bourne movies definitely came out are Miramax movies, are they not?
I don't know, but
I guess it would have made more
Is
money
it
than that.
fantasy?
You're
It
right.
made 105 million like overall.
What's that movie where he's like in a submersion tank or something? What the hell is that called?
Is it Mark Wahlberg who buys a zoo?
We Bought a Zoo is Matt Damon.
Is it?
Yeah. But I
Would
don't
that
think
be adventure, fantasy, action, comedy, thriller? Would that be a thriller?
I don't think it's a thriller.
Heath Ledger is the second actor.
Oh.
2005, Heath Ledger. Is he not dead by this point?
No, he was not dead by that point.
Lena Headey is the third actor. That's what's her face from Game of Thrones? Cersei.
Oh. No, I don't know.
The tagline is eliminating evil since 1812. So the War of 1812.
Eliminating evil since 1812.
Oh, okay. The plot, it's folklore collectors and con artists Jake and Will Grimm, the Grimm brothers, travel from village to village pretending to protect townsfolk from enchanted creatures and performing exorcisms.
The
Is that
brothers.
really called the
It's called
the Brothers Grimm?
Yeah, the Brothers Grimm.
Wow, Matt Damon and Heath Ledger as the Grimm brothers. Crazy.
Interesting. Okay, so not our best performance.
I mean, 3 to 5 in kind of a. I mean, we went pretty fast. Say speed run of the box office game.
Could have been worse. You had a good one with Red Eye. I didn't really contribute all that much.
40-year-old version.
Yeah, I said yeah. That was pretty good, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm happy with that.
One last question before we wrap it up.
Okay.
So there is a we live in a building that is beside another building. Our window on one side is of the other building. Somebody has just moved in to an apartment that we can see into.
Mm-hmm.
They have a cat.
Right.
Their cat does not have any fur.
Hairless.
It's a hairless cat.
Mm-hmm.
What is your opinion of hairless cats?
They just look like cute little testicles, don't they?
This one does not look cute. This one looks terrifying.
Terrifying testicle.
Like an alien, yeah. And then like they have their computer. Also, shout out if you're listening to the podcast. They have their computer desk up against a window, and it has like a little perch where it sits.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes they like stretch on the window and just very scary.
Right. So what's the question?
I just asked you what your opinion was of hairless cats.
Right. I'm for them. I mean,
I'm for them.
I'm for them. Yep.
Okay.
I'm fine that they exist.
Okay.
Usually I just think they look like little testicles or big testicles, I guess.
Yeah, it's like a big cat for sure.
Yeah.
All right. The Ladykillers.
Can we have a testicle talk segment every week, or maybe that was just a one-off?
Maybe not next week because we'll be in the same room.
Right. Let's maybe. Let's keep the testicle talk for when we can't see each other.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, we can revisit that in a few weeks for sure.
Okay, awesome. I think what we're gonna have to do is use the same microphone.
That's what I'm thinking too. Yeah, just put your microphone in the middle.
Yeah.
I'll bring mine just in case, but keep yours in the middle, and then if I have to turn it up, I'll turn it up.
But do you do this on a laptop or are you on like a desktop?
On a laptop. I'll bring my laptop.
Okay.
What's your Wi-Fi password?
It's FUCKYOU JOSH.
Okay. On that note, I think it's time for us to wrap it up because somebody is grumpy and needs to go to bed.
Yes, you do. I hope everyone has a lovely week, and thank you so much for listening. If you're a listener and you like the podcast specifically, give us a little rating on Spotify. That'd be very nice of you.
Like and subscribe on our Instagram. Can you subscribe on the Instagram? I don't know. Like the Instagram, follow us. We don't really do anything on there, but
no, but we usually
it'll be cool to have followers. Man.
Yeah, we make a post about when a new episode comes out. So you don't want to miss an episode, right? So give us a follow, and we'll see you real soon.